I want to welcome everyone here. I want to thank y'all for coming. I want to introduce the folks behind me, and then we're going to let them each speak some. Of course, we have our Secretary of Economic Development, Susan Bourgeois, with us, the Executive Director of Committee of 100, Adam Knapp, who's don't hide. Yeah, come on. I don't want to hide you. You're very important in this. Ben Bordelon, who chaired our economic transition committee, along with Mandy Mitchell, who co-chaired it and was on the transition committee as well. And then Representative Darrell Desautels, who carried the bill on the Florida House, who's Senator Beth Mizell, who authored the bill, was unable to come with us, but certainly we want to recognize her and appreciate the work she did. You know, U.S. News and World Report ranked Louisiana 49th in economic, in its economic status, and 50th in economic growth. Okay, last year we made three distinct promises to the people of this state. One was that we were going to make Louisiana a safer place, and we would do something about crime and public safety, in which we did along with the legislature, and we're continuing to work on those things. The second thing was we wanted to address education, and I think that this session we made huge leaps in improving Louisiana's educational opportunities for all of our kids. And then the third thing was the economy, because we all know it's all about the economy, it's all about jobs, because those things help to enhance our quality of life. And I got to tell you, our ability to get where we are today is not because of Jeff Landry, it's not because I'm the governor, it's because of the many men and women who have worked to help us put that together. From day one, after the election, we asked Ben Bordelon to head our Economic Transition Committee. And we had a great group of committee people that came from all walks of life, all stripes, to come together to put together a plan and to discuss the ways that we could get Louisiana's economy in line with the new industrial South. And we came up with an idea to ask the Committee of 100, which has been around for, I don't know, how long y'all been around? Since the 90s. Which is made up of stakeholders from all around this state. Men and women who ply the trade each and every day, who create jobs, who care about their employees, and who care about Louisiana. And we said, can you help us position Louisiana, again, to participate in this new industrial South as we watch all of our neighboring states grow? And so we challenged them. We said, hey, can you go out and find the best ways that we could reorganize our economic development agency in the state of Louisiana so that it can compete with those neighboring states? Because as I went around the campaign trail, I heard from business owners about the interactions that they had in other states. Primarily, I told Ben Bordelon's story ad nauseum to the people of the state of Louisiana. And the Committee of 100, on their own nickel, picked up that task. And I know that, some in the media like to criticize me for moving too fast, but I can tell you I move too fast because it's folks like the Committee of 100 and others that are pushing us. And they moved at breakneck speed. And they went out and they studied states like Virginia, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Alabama, and others who have had great success in promoting their states and increasing the economic opportunities and job quality in those states as well. But they didn't just go out there and say, okay, we're just going to copy Virginia, or we're going to copy South Carolina, or we're going to copy North Carolina. They said, you know what, we're going to look at what worked best in those states and how it applies to Louisiana. Because what may work in Virginia may not work in Louisiana. The economies are different. The opportunities are different. The natural resources of the state are different. And so they took those ideas and then they laid them over what they believed was best for the state. And so they gave us a game plan. And in that game plan, that report became Senate Bill 494, which we're going to sign today. And it gave us the blueprint that says, you know what, the signing of this bill today tells not only America, but it tells the world that Louisiana is getting ready to be busy, that we are going to be open for business, that we want to welcome people back home, and we want to welcome businesses back home. And so I just, again, want to thank each and every one of them. And then I'd like to bring up Ben Bourdillon to say a few words, and then we'll bring Adam up to brag on the Committee of 100. And then we'll bring Darrell to explain a little bit more about the bill. And then finally, we'll close with Susan. But before we do that, we have a short video, right, that we want to play.
Progress doesn't wait, and neither do we. We are Louisiana Economic Development, a government agency that doesn't act like one. We move at the speed of business, your business. Our mission? To serve as a launch pad for the success of companies that call Louisiana home, and the creation of even more jobs and opportunities. Our rocket fuel is the passion of our people, the pride in our culture, and the clarity of our vision. We have the tools it takes to compete in the global marketplace. The Mississippi River, access to the world via the Gulf, a pro-business climate, and bountiful natural resources no other state can match, with a multi-skilled workforce that is out of this world. Our secret weapon, new leadership. New leadership determined to go the extra mile to empower existing business expansion, while paving the way for new businesses to call Louisiana home. LED is mission-focused on ensuring every region of the state thrives and every citizen has the opportunity for ever-growing wages. And the industries that are already deeply invested in our great state, LED is helping them lead in the future, driving Louisiana's business ecosystem towards sustained growth, innovation, and global impact. Louisiana Economic Development, positioning Louisiana to win.
And so I'd like to bring up one of those new leaders, Ben Bourdillon.
Thank you, Governor. I got tasked as soon as he won a little early, I think, than anybody thought, which was awesome. But then right away we jumped into what can we do to make the state better, and it was nice to for Jeff right away to stake in the ground that we open for business. We got a lot of business people involved in this transition committee, and really the evolution in the time that it took really it's exciting to be here today and do that. Working with Adam, working with Mandy, and now Susan leading where we are today. I'm excited. I have a big stake in Louisiana. My family's been in business now almost 80 years. Hard to imagine that. We want to continue to grow in Louisiana. We have opportunities to go outside, and we see the ability and the way other states approach economic development. And it has been a little, I'm gonna say, embarrassing to a degree of where we've been the last few decades. But I've never been more excited to be a part of Louisiana. We molding really in front of our eyes today where we're gonna head. And I think, we're gonna be from a ground level standpoint. We have the ability to build something I think that no other state has done before. The governor mentioned how we looked at other states. We did. We looked at the pros and the cons. We figured out what we think could be the best model for Louisiana. And that's what we're trying to really get us to, in my opinion, be the forefront of where the state of Louisiana could be for our nation and the world. He mentioned the world. We have the ability to be a world-class economic development, thriving mechanism for our state and really the whole world. And I'm just excited. I think we have the Cajun ingenuity to grow our workforce, really develop from Shreveport all the way down to New Orleans and out to Lake Charles and in the bayous, Baton Rouge, everywhere. We all offer some unique opportunities. What Susan has done in a short time period, I think is very exciting. Really working the state and working outside of the state and trying to bring not only new business in, but taking care of businesses that are here. All of these things are important. We need more businesses. internally to continue to support. This is not a great paying job for me, trust me, when they ask me to do it. But at the end of the day, it is, and it's investing in our future, and where we're heading is exciting. So Jeff, I appreciate the opportunity for let me have a small piece, but again, thanks for all y'all do, and I'll turn it back over to Jeff. Thanks.
Ben, we love having you there because, you know, as you taught us, all good football teams really require good linemen, right? That's what Ben has been. And so we really thank him. And then now, Adam.
Thank you, Governor. It is a great privilege to be here this morning. And I just want to start by asking all the leaders from the Committee of 100, I know our chairman is here, just raise your hand, just a show of hands for those who have been involved across the state. I'll tell a little story. The governor in the transition committee started these conversations, and Ben and Mandy were pushing hard in the transition committee. But it was in the build-up to our D.C. Mardi Gras event that we hold every year when the governor let us know that he wanted to talk about the future of LED at our event. And so we had a lot of build-up to get ready for that. But we found out that morning during that session that the intent was not to have some conceptual change to LED down in the distant future, but this legislative session. And so I think we turned around and said, we can meet the speed that you want to execute at. And the members of the Committee of 100 and funders of this organization said, we want to help you achieve the goal, Governor, because it matters for the future of Louisiana. We've pulled together the resources and found the consultants in about a month and a half, and then they finished their work in time for the start of session to bring you those recommendations for Senate Bill 494. The speed at which you did that, I can't say many governors have had fruitful transition committees that turned into legislation that fast, Governor, but it's exciting that you were able to do so when it matters so much. The quote that you were speaking about Louisiana economic numbers couldn't be more dire. Over the last 13 years and in the last 8 years, we went and looked at it two different ways. Louisiana has been the slowest growing state in the South. I've said this a million times during the course of this drafting and this research project, but when you look at the data, there's no more urgent time than now to fix our economic development challenge. And I just want to ask for one more show of hands. Economic developers, local and regional and other partners around the state, just a show of hands who are in the room. If you're in the business of economic development around Louisiana, just show who is here. What you have, Governor, is everybody at the local and regional level pulled together for you for this bill in a nonpartisan way because every part of Louisiana knows we need to perform better and wants to be a part of your agenda to try to accomplish that, and we will. Because today, as to kind of push the metaphor, Governor, if we've been on defense, today Louisiana goes on offense, and it's exciting to be a part of that for LED. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And again, it's because of the great team that we've assembled. I want to thank, again, the Committee of 100 at this time. I certainly would like to bring up Representative Darrell Desautels, who kind of explained a couple of things about the bill and talk about the bill. But what he represents, not only as himself in the district that he represents, and Senator Mizell, who authored the bill on the Senate side, is he represents a legislature that responded. And I think that that's important as well. This legislature, over the last 6 months, because they have been drinking through an absolute fire hose, I know, because I'm right next to them, sharing an additional fire hose. But they have been very responsive. They've listened, they've reacted, they've asked good questions, and they made this happen. So, Representative Desautels.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank my colleague and friend, Senator Mizell, for carrying this bill on the Senate side. She did a wonderful job, and she was really passionate about this bill. I want to thank, obviously, Secretary Bourgeois for her leadership, her refusal to take status quo as the normal for Louisiana. And really, the bill does three things, in my opinion. First, it restructures LED to operate at the speed of business as opposed to the speed of government. And I think that was one of the slides on the presentation. That's important. That's important. To attract business, you have to be able to operate at the speed of business. So the second thing I think it does is it releases the department from burdensome bureaucracies that we've seen in our state for so long, which will put us on equal footing of other states. And third, which is very important, it brings the private sector voice to the table by setting a long-term economic development strategy for our state. I think that is extremely important. You know, I started a business 25 years ago from zero, and I've seen the struggles that it takes for small businesses to succeed in Louisiana. And if we would have had, if we have more people at the table with sharing those struggles, we can affect change better. I'll tell you, I was trying to think about exactly what I was going to say, and I think the thing I'd like to leave you with the most is that, out on the campaign trail and listening to different people, everyone I talk to, Democrats, Republicans, independents, everyone wants some type of change. Everyone. You never hear anybody say, oh, everything's perfect, let's just leave it like it is. Everyone wants change. Well, in my opinion, to affect change, you have to have big ideas and you have to have bold ideas. And I'm so thankful that we have a governor and we have a secretary now that embrace big ideas and big strategies. Because what happens is whenever you do present a big idea, people get scared because people actually are scared of change. But we have to have big ideas to affect change. And I want to thank them for their leadership. And I know we have a lot of other department heads that are thinking the same. So thank you, Governor.
And then finally, in the business world, when businesses out there and looking for to fill key employment roles, sometimes they employ people to go find them for them, and those people are called headhunters, right? And there's a reason, because they're looking for people that know how to hunt people. The economic development team that Adam put together today, what you see on local, they're headhunters too. They're company hunters. And there are people that are aggressive, that want to change the face of their communities and their development districts that they represent. And so it's proud for me to bring up the chief headhunter, business hunter, Susan Bourgeois.
Thank you, Governor. And before I get into the remarks specifically about the bill, I do want to acknowledge another group of folks who are in this room, because this speaks to how Governor Landry is running his administration and running this government. The number of other secretaries and department heads who are in this room to witness this is incredibly important, because economic development is a whole of government approach. This isn't about me being a headhunter. This isn't about the team I'm about to announce doing it on our own. Without all of government doing this, we will never succeed. So thank you to my colleagues in that space. This is a tremendous victory for our state. Senate Bill 494 is one of the most consequential pieces of legislation ever passed as it relates to economic development in Louisiana. It completely reimagines the visioning, planning, and oversight of our economic development efforts. It creates a private sector-focused advisory board, and I like the way the governor said it better. It's the job creators who will be leading this vision. It gives LED the freedom to streamline procurement, leverage new technology, and compete at the speed of business. It gives me and future secretaries the flexibility to tailor the agency's leadership structure to better align with that new vision, to better leverage our local economic development partners, and to better support current and prospective businesses for our state. The first sign of the bill's impact can be seen right here with me. And I encourage you all to read the press release and check for their full bios, but I want to introduce you to the new team at the new LED. But before I do, I also want to encourage you to read the biography of retiring Assistant Secretary Brenda Guess. Brenda recently announced her intention to retire July 1st after 37 years of service to LED. Congratulations, Brenda. Brenda exemplifies the kind of dedicated, tireless public servant that every member of this new executive team will aspire to be. So in no particular order, I'd like to introduce you the new LED. Deputy Secretary Ann Villa, Chief Engagement Officer Rachel Shields, Chief Business Development Officer Paige Carter, Chief Innovation Officer Josh Flagg, Chief Economic Competitiveness Officer Ileana Lede, Chief Communications Officer Mark Larondo, Executive Director of LED Fast Start Chelsea Harris Dufresne, Executive Director of Louisiana Entertainment and Legislative Affairs Chris Deli, and Executive Counsel Robin Porter. Welcome to the new LED. Collectively, this team possesses the perfect balance of institutional experience and fresh ideas. They were all successful outside of government before choosing to serve the state this way. Their combined years of private sector, higher education, and economic development organizational leadership far exceeds their time in government. And at LED, perhaps more than any other state agency, this outside perspective is critical. And they're all here for the same two reasons. They love Louisiana, and they hate to lose. In the words of my dear friend and highly respected economic developer, Michael Hecht, that's a team I'd go to war with. And Governor, we're going to war. We are going to win for Louisiana. These posters are about what the new LED is about. You saw in the video, and by the way, the hype video is really a lot better when it's loud. So when you go back and you watch it, just crank up the volume a little bit, right? We are positioning Louisiana to win. We will align and we will integrate and we will maximize. Those aren't just consultant buzzwords. That is the new LED. And the truth is we are engaged and we're going to innovate. We're going to do this fundamentally differently. And we're going to ensure all 8 economic development regions of this state thrive. We are going to optimize Louisiana's legacy industries, Bollinger, a great example, to make sure that they lead in the future just as they have in the past. We will drive Louisiana's business ecosystem towards sustained growth, innovation, and as importantly, global impact. Is it aspirational? Absolutely. Can it be achieved quickly? No, but we're going to do it and we're going to win. Thank you all very much.
All right, well, now's a great, exciting part. And look, I'll tell you this. What you see behind us is a team. What you see around this room is a team. Like Susan said, I see the Secretary of DEQ, the State Treasurer's here. Who else in the cabinet? Oh, yeah, Taylor, Susie Shaw. Where's Susie? There you are. Susie, you hiding behind your... I want you to know, Susie, I got up this morning and my wife said, now remember, you're going to a press conference with Susan, not Susie. I got it. But let me just say this lastly. Before we sign this bill, I think this is important. So for the citizens that are watching this on social media, for those citizens who are small business owners, who are business owners, this group of people is not out here trying to focus solely on bringing people into the state. What you heard Susan just say is, we're going to focus on the businesses and industries that grew this state. And that's important. This is going to be a collaborative team effort that says, hey, we want to focus on you. And by focusing on you, and the better we get our legacy industries, as she called them, the more organic additional growth will happen. And so I'm telling you that before this year is over, we are going to announce some great opportunities that are going to help build on those particular industries and bring Louisiana into this new industrial South. And so with that, what we'll do is we'll come around, all of y'all, the whole team, and we'll get this bill signed. All right. And Adam, we're going to give the Committee of 100 the signing pen and a copy of the bill just for all the appreciation. Ben, you'll get the second. All right. All right. Let me do this. On behalf of the state of Louisiana, thank you, Committee. Ben, for all the trouble I've given you. And you pay good money to do this. And if any of the economic development directors that are here representing different regions of the state, if y'all want any, we'll make sure that we give y'all a copy of this and also a copy of a pen as well. We thank this, John, thank you for coming as well. And with that, we'll open it up to any questions the media may have.
It changes the way Louisiana delivers economic development and positions us to win.
Give us an example between the old LED and the new LED. What's different?
Well, a primary example is that the old LED would have to live through lots of bureaucratic state rules about how we address and respond to businesses. And the easiest way I know to say it is the old LED worked at the speed of government, and the new LED works at the speed of business.
What potential do you see in Louisiana with this new effort?
Yeah, the amount of potential and opportunity in Louisiana is absolutely incredible. And as I said a moment ago, the legacy industries that have built this state and built the economy of this state, that have led in the past, are wonderfully positioned with LED support to lead again in the future. And the opportunity to do that and capitalize on our infrastructure and on our gateway to the globe through the Gulf of Mexico and our workforce is really remarkable, and we will do just that.